Boxes for Katje by Candace Fleming. Pictures by Stacy Dressen McQueen. After the war, there was little left in the tiny Dutch town of Ols. The townspeople lived on cabbages and seed potatoes. They patched and repatched their worn-thin clothing, and they went without soap or milk, sugar or new shoes. One spring morning, when the tulips bloomed thick and bright, Postman Kleinhonte pedaled his bicycle down the cobbled street.
"Oh, oh!" he whooped. "I have a box for Katje, a box from America."
"America?" exclaimed Katje. "Who would send me a box from America?"
"The Children's Aid Society," replied the postman. "Children in America are collecting and mailing many hard-to-find items to the children of Holland. You, young miss, were very lucky to get one."
Katje took the box. She rubbed her finger across the block letters that spelled USA. "The land of plenty," she whispered. Katje's mamma came to stand beside her. "Open it," she urged. Peeling off the brown paper wrapping, Katje pushed back the flaps and pulled out a cake of soap. "What luxury!" said Mamma. "No more bathing with gritty homemade stuff for you." Katje pulled out the next item, a pair of wool socks.
"Now that is luxury,"
said Postman Kleinhonte.
"Holland has become a sockless country since the war."
He rolled up his pant leg to show his bare ankle. Katje dipped into the box again. Out came chocolate. Mamma sniffed, then sighed. "I have not smelled chocolate in years." Postman Kleinhonte smacked his lips. "Mwah!
"I have not tasted chocolate in years."
"Neither have I," added Katje. Her mouth watered as she remembered its creamy, rich sweetness. She could hardly wait to take a bite. Then she looked from Mamma's smiling face to Postman Kleinhonte's, and Katje made a decision. Quick, before she could change her mind, she broke the bar into pieces and passed them around. For several moments the three savored the almost forgotten taste. Then Postman Kleinhonte pointed.
"The box is not empty yet."
Katje reached in and pulled out a letter. It read, "Dear Dutch friend, I hope these gifts brighten your day. Your American friend, Rosie Johnson, 123 Elm Street, Mayfield, Indiana, USA."
The postman nodded. "Tja, Rosie's box brightened my day."
"And mine," agreed Mamma. "I am going to tell her," decided Katje. "I am going to send a letter to Rosie. Dear American friend, thank you for the soap and the socks, but most of all for the chocolate. Sugar is not found in Holland these days, so anything sweet is precious. My mother and Postman Kleinhonte very much enjoyed it too. Your Dutch friend, Katje van Stegeren." Weeks passed and summer came, hot and bright. The townspeople of Ols boiled cabbages, dug potatoes, and dreamed of meat and bread. One morning, while Katje and her mamma pulled up their tulips, rubbed off the stems, and sorted the bulbs into bags, Postman Kleinhonte came pedaling down the street.
"She has another one," he hollered. "Katje has another box from America."
His shouts drew Mr. and Mrs. DeLand and their 5 thin children from next door. Everyone gathered around as Katje eagerly opened the second, bigger box. "Johann, look!" shrieked Mrs. DeLand when the flaps were pulled back.
"I am looking," gulped her husband, "but I am not believing my eyes."
From the box, Katje pulled 4 bags of sugar and a letter from Rosie. "Dear Katje, no sugar! Yikes! That's so awful. Mother and I are sending you some. We included some for your postman too. Your friend, Rosie."
"Sugar, sugar, sugar!"
sang Postman Kleinhunte. Grabbing the smallest Deland, he danced with the toddler to the world's sweet beat. And Katje made a decision. "There is plenty to share," she said. "Ach!" sobbed Mrs. Deland, dabbing away tears with the corner of her apron. "You are too kind. Thank you, Katje. Thank you." Then, as Postman Kleinhunte sang, the children danced and Mrs. Deland sniffled. Katje divided the sugar. Later, she wrote to Rosie. "Dear friend Rosie, so many sweets. How can I ever thank you? I share the sugar with our neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Deland. They have 5 children who are skin and bone. With so little food in Holland, it is hard to keep anyone fed. Your gift has surely helped us. Your friend, Katje." Weeks passed and autumn came, rainy and gray. The townspeople of Oos picked the last of their cabbages and potatoes. They lined their old coats with newspaper to keep out the cold air, and they worried about the coming winter. "How will we survive without good food or warm clothing?" they asked each other. "How will we live